Welcome back to Golf Extra. Many of today's best professional golfers have grown up idolizing Tiger Woods and trying their best to imitate his swing. What might come as a surprise to even some of these players, though, is that Tiger himself wants his own son to model his game after a different professional golfer. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now let's get right into Tiger Woods and the huge compliment that he paid to Rory McIlroy. Charlie Woods, the son of all-time great player Tiger Woods, has been making waves in the amateur golf world for several years now. Alongside his famous dad, Charlie has put on a show at the PNC Championship in several recent instances of the tournament, which is a scramble format between PGA Tour members and their family members. Young Charlie has drawn a lot of media attention for his sweet swing, which many would assume is modeled after that of his prolific dad. However, Tiger said that he's given his son some different advice, saying, "I told Charlie, don't copy my swing, copy Rory's. Have you ever seen Rory off balance on a shot? No, not ever. You can swing as hard as you want, but you need to have balance." It doesn't seem like Tiger is just being humble either. He's really impressed by Rory's swing, and why shouldn't he be? Rory has long been one of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour, despite being a player of smaller stature at only 5 feet 9 inches. Not short by any means, but significantly smaller frame than bigger players like Tiger Woods or Brooks Koepka, who would be expected to have a proportional advantage in distance. As Tiger said in his comments, it's not just about distance for Rory, who is constantly working to stay within his angles in his golf swing and to deliver the ball where he wants it to be. Golf Magazine went deeper into this comment, trying to assess the main differences between Rory's swing and Tiger's swing when he was in his prime, prior to some injuries that changed his game. They asked 3 teachers on their top 100 teacher list to compare the two swings, which yielded some interesting results. The teachers agreed that Rory had a bit more of an attainable ball flight than Tiger, with McIlroy mostly hitting a push draw that stayed balanced and in the fairway most of the time. This is in comparison to Tiger, who is obviously an excellent player, but who in his prime hit more of a long fade shot. This is a much more achievable and repeatable ball path for mere mortals, unlike Tiger. Jonathan Yarwood, an instructor from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, said about Tiger's comments relative to Rory's swing, "When we look at our own swings, we always see the faults. When Tiger is looking at his own swing, he's looking at it quite critically. But when he's looking at Rory, he's looking at the flow of it rather than the flaws in it. Beauty is a little bit in the eye of the beholder." Tiger also mentioned how much he admires Rory's balance, and I've never seen Tiger struggle with balance, so I thought it was interesting he pointed that out. Brian Manzella, an instructor from New Orleans, Louisiana, added, "It's a lot easier to admire a swing that you can see from 4 feet away. Tiger has never been able to watch his own swing standing 4 feet away, so he's admiring Rory's. The simple fact of the matter is that no one likes their own swing. Rory would probably tell his kid to copy Tiger's swing." So, the comments might be a little more out of humility after all, but it's still interesting to note them, especially when considering that McIlroy and Woods have had an extremely friendly relationship over the past few years. Woods, who has been increasingly quiet in golf media after going through a recent car accident and dealing with ongoing injury issues that preceded the accident, hasn't commented to a high degree on McIlroy's game outside of what he said regarding Charlie and his swing. However, McIlroy has said quite a bit about Tiger. Some of his most noteworthy comments came on Off the Ball podcast, when he gave fans a bit of an inside look into the relationship between two of the most famous golfers on the planet, saying, "Yeah, he's a great resource. If there's anything I ever need to ask, we don't live too far from each other in Florida. He's shown me some things that I don't know if he's shown anyone else but Woods' son, Charlie, maybe JT as well. Secrets from Tiger? Hold on, sign us up." The podcast host rightly pressed Rory for more information, and he provided a smidgen of information in saying that Tiger showed him just some different shots around the greens. "He's the biggest golf nerd I've ever come across. He knows everything about everything. He watches everything. He lets on that he doesn't, but he watches so much and he analyzes guys' moves, and he just loves the game." It comes as no surprise to anyone who has watched Tiger play over the years that he's always looking for an edge, even when he's not out on the course quite as much. Rory continued his comments on the Off the Ball podcast by saying about Tiger, "I think what set him apart when he was at his best was that he loved the pursuit of trying to master his craft, and that really comes out when he's describing things. Even if you've got a chip shot that's got a right to left slope on the green, he's hitting it with cut spin to take out the slope. Just the craft. I've never seen anyone else like that. Tiger truly plays golf on a different level from most of us, and even from other professionals from the sound of it. McIlroy's admiration for Tiger isn't limited to his playing abilities. McIlroy has also commented recently about his respect for Tiger's work as a member of the PGA Tour's policy board. About Tiger's role in this capacity, Rory said, "It's a great addition. The player over the last 20 years that's left the biggest legacy on the game. For him to be involved in the discussions around the future of professional golf and what that may look like, I think is very important. Tiger has stepped up for all of us on the tour, and I think he realizes that the players that are on the policy board were trying to play regular golf and at the same time try to navigate all these different things as well." McIlroy continued, "He's maybe got a little more time on his hands than we do. For him to step up and sort of take a little bit of the load off of us is very much appreciated. He has a vote. Everything that goes through the tour has to be voted on and ratified, and he actually has a vote on what happens." Given the turbulent times that golf is going through now, it is certainly a relief that Tiger is front and center assisting, a view that McIlroy shares. "I think Tiger being on the board, it's meaningful that he's on it. He's certainly been spending more time on it than I have. He's been talking to some people. He's been talking to a lot of people. He's really engaged in just trying to get the best outcome for the players on the PGA Tour. So I think his difference has been felt already. I think it will only continue. His presence there will only continue to grow as we head towards the December 31st deadline of the framework agreement with LIV Golf." Woods and McIlroy also worked together in setting up the PGA Tour's signature events, which have been a success thus far. About that venture, McIlroy said, "I think the one thing that we talked about this time last year was guaranteeing the product, guaranteeing that the best fields are going to show up. Obviously, that mandatory part has been taken out, so it'll be interesting to see what happens and see how many guys show up and how that all goes." He continued, "I think there's incentives now for the signature events for everyone to show up because the FedEx Cup points are higher, and you have an advantage being in those fields by finishing in the top 50 the previous year. So I'm excited to see how that all plays out." Rory's not the only one excited to see how things play out. We'll certainly be watching to see what him and Tiger have up their sleeves next. Comment with your thoughts and make sure to subscribe for more content like this. We'll catch you in the next one.